Hello dear colonists, welcome to the 4th episode of the Scarlet Cult, where I'm trying to manage an entire colony that's completely addicted to Luciferium. The rules of this colony are simple: if you join it, you must become addicted to Luciferium. As you can see from our ideology, we are playing the role of a colony that worships Luciferium. It believes that getting addicted to it is a gift from a god, and they are essentially just Luciferium-obsessed cultists. Alright, so we have finished our research for the Luciferium expansion, and now, since we're almost done with Luciferium research and we're about to unlock Scarlet Mastery, which will allow us to very hardly produce our own Luciferium, I think it's time that we start expanding a little bit on our Luciferium factory. The way this mod works is that by building these Scarlet Collectors, we can attract wild mechanites, quote unquote, that are found within the air of the planet. These mechanites are then further processed into a red sludge, and they're stored inside of this tank. This red sludge is kind of useless per se, but it can be later on refined into a variety of drugs, including Last Wish, Red Flicker, Scarlet Eye, and of course Luciferium. While it might sound pretty simple to sustain an entire colony on Luciferium as long as we have the means to produce it, this is not going to be as easy as you think it might be. You see, Ushanka, the creator of this mod, has taken balancing into account very seriously. Not only that producing Luciferium is extremely costly and time-consuming, but it will also require a lot of this scarlet sludge. For comparison, in order to produce enough Luciferium to maintain a singular pawn, we are gonna need 6 of these Scarlet Collectors. And while the cost of the Scarlet Collectors, as you can see, in order to produce isn't that high, we must also take into account logistics, the space, and the power required. Not only that, but the amount of Scarlet Sludge that can be produced, it's actually limited. You see, this mod's lore implies that Scarlet Sludge is produced from wild mechanites that are found within the air. As you can see down there, there is actually a limit to how many mechanites can be found within the atmosphere of this planet. And right there, it's the limit of how much Luciferium can also be produced from those. So currently, on the entire planet, there is only enough mechanites to produce 80 Luciferium. Once all of these mechanites are harvested, that's it. There's not going to be any more left on the planet to harvest. At that point, the only solution is going to be to research the reinforced cores. This will give us access to the Scarlet Attractor, which is a sort of antenna, a single-time use antenna that will attract even more wild mechanites from space back to our planet. But as you can see, this antenna costs 2 advanced components, 60 steel and 15 plasteel. And while it is certainly not that expensive in the grand scheme of things, it will require us to grind more advanced components. So in a certain way, at the end of the day, I think that in terms of items value, it will cost us more to produce Luciferium rather than actually simply buying it from traders. But in all honesty, I think that this is part of the fun. And also, all of our animals just spoiled because we have no space left in the freezer. I think it's time we start thinking seriously about some base renovations. Alright, as you can see, the sludge that we have been accumulating in our Scarlet tank can now be reprocessed into these Scarlet Mechanites. Now, we need 48 liters of Scarlet Sludge just to produce a single unit of Scarlet Mechanites. And Luciferium will require 24 units of Scarlet Mechanites in order to be produced, meaning that we need 1,152 liters of Scarlet Sludge just to produce a single unit of Luciferium. And our Scarlet Collectors are collecting 36 liters a day, meaning that one Scarlet Collector can produce only 2 Luciferium a year. So yeah, certainly this is going to require a lot of resources to invest in so that we can actually have a steady supply of continuous Luciferium. But I'm gonna say that the moment we manage, it's gonna be definitely worth it. Alright, we're doing some heavy restructuring around the base, changing the layout a bit, efficient. How do you pronounce that? Efficientizing? Is that even a real word? Is that a word? Efficientizing. Is that a word? But we're making stuff more efficient. So yeah, we're gonna make the walk-in freezer a little bit larger. The kitchen, we're gonna have finally a proper one. The workshop, we're adding tool cabinets and machining tablets and fabrication cabinet. Then we'll be moving steel and components inside of here. We'll be adding more vents for optimized airflow distribution. We're going particularly just for hidden conduits because they have no chance of short circuiting and starting a fire. And then we'll make a much more organized and better storage area than whatever this is. All right, we have produced 7 Scarlet Mechanites. Let's go. All I'm gonna say is still not finished, but this kitchen is starting to look pretty good. I think the design is also pretty efficient because we have one fridge here that is gonna store just vegetables and one here just for meat and animal products. And once the cook is finished cooking, he's gonna deliver the meal right into this refrigerator that also acts as a wall. So people, when they come into the dining area, they can just grab a meal from here, sit at the table and eat without having to go through the kitchen itself and then to the refrigerator. I'm also reworking a bit the entrance to the base. I don't want to go for a kill box design, but I do want to have at least a slightly more narrow entry point here. Large enough to pass through with vehicles, but not too big to have enemies coming from every direction. Probably make like a little road here, and then there's gonna be like barricades with walls here so that my pawns can have extra cover while shooting at stuff. Yeah, I don't want to make like one of those super efficient kill boxes where it's basically just a 1-by-1 hallway and every enemy is just funneled through it. Oh, an eclipse has begun. Perfect time for the vampires. Psychic Soothe, female. Well, this is perfect. Our entire colony is just females. So we're gonna slap another geothermal generator here because our base is kind of starting to run low on electricity. Obelisk duplicate. Oh wow, the obelisk has made a duplicate of Morrison. The duplicate claims to be the real Morrison and has joined your colony. So I guess we have 2 Morrisons now? Okay, I mean, Morrison is one of my best pawns, so yeah, sure. What's the worst that could happen, right? Oh wait, this also means that the clone has a Luciferium need, and now we need even more Luciferium. Okay, I don't think I need another clone of Morrison that much. Most of what she does is just research, and while this could potentially make us research twice as fast, I don't think it's worth the Luciferian cost. So we're just gonna put the clone in crypto sleep. I mean, technically, that way if something were to happen to the real Morrison, then we'd have a backup. Okay, given that Sass is gonna be recruited rather soon, and despite that, she still has a Luciferium need. And now we have a crypto slept, crypto slept? Is that the correct term? I think cryogenized is the correct term for this, because this is, I mean, I guess it's cryogenics. We have a sleepy clone of Morrison, and because of that, our Luciferium need just has increased by 2 pawns. Well, really just by 1, because Morrison's clone is in crypto sleep, but I would like to get her out so she can actually start contributing to the colony in some way. So because of that, I think it's time that we go on another expedition to try and find more Luciferium. Look, I know that these expeditions are starting to become quite repetitive, but what did you expect? We do need the Luciferium, and the Ancient Dangers are, at least for now, our best source to get more of it, so yeah. A machine collector from Minor Compact is passing by. She's named Varvara Nails Ellis. Hey, this is Bor's sister. Alright, Sass has been successfully converted to our ideology, so now it's time to actually start the recruiting process. Alright, time to check the map out. Ooh, this is quite a big mountain. And it has an ancient danger as well. Bunch of gazelles. I think that we can definitely get a lot of resources, components, meat, and possibly some more Luciferium. Only issue is that our traveler cannot get past this body of water. I wonder if we could construct a bridge. Only one way to find out. Is it 2 tiles wide bridge gonna be enough for the traveler? Oh my god, I hope that the bridge doesn't break down while we cross it with the traveler and then we just sink into the water. I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen, but knowing how detailed the vanilla expanded mods are, I wouldn't put this beneath them. I mean, I could just leave the traveler here, but all of the resources that I need are on this side. I don't really want to have to drag all of these gazelle corpses back here again. Speaking of carrying cargo, I think it's time that we attempt to build a mule so that we can carry more resources back home. Because don't get me wrong, the Traveler has a lot of space, I think around 300 kilograms. But carrying all of these gazelles home is gonna be far more than 300 kilograms, I can assure you that. Alright, moment of truth. Is it gonna make it without having the bridge crashing? And it made it! Okay, I have to admit I was a bit scared. I expected the bridge to actually just crash down. Oh man, we just ran over a squirrel. Oh no! First thing we're gonna do though is we're gonna mine this gold and this components. Uh-oh. Both Morrison and her duplicate are feeling unwell. Their condition seems to be related to the duplication process and worsening. The psychic connection that binds them is causing them to slowly lose consciousness. The condition won't get better until one of them dies. Okay, so this means that we have to get rid of either Morrison or her clone. Oh, Sass has been recruited. Welcome to the colony. Alright, we finished the Scarlet Mastery research. Now we can actually craft Luciferium. If, you know, we end up getting enough sludge, that is. Oh, this guy thought about being funny and attempt to raid us. I think he's gonna be in for a bad surprise. Oh, that was instant. That was so instant and so sad. Well, it seems that we are finally getting raided by a group that's more than just 2 people. Which normally I wouldn't mind, but currently our 2 best fighters are out. But despite this, I think we should still manage. These guys don't seem particularly dangerous. I guess we'll see now. Oh no, they're going for the geothermal generator. Or not? Yeah, I thought they were gonna attack it. One thing that we should probably do is protect the geothermal generator sometime soon. Okay, they actually are starting to get in melee range. You might want to retreat a little bit. Okay, these guys have been dealt with. Well, Tony has decided to have a tantrum while she's bleeding out. That is not a good time, Tony. You are bleeding out of your mind, and you just now decide to have a tantrum. Sure God, Rimworld pawns can sometimes be very dumb. Why, you just go to bed. Just go to bed, and we'll let Sass take care of you, alright? She needs some experience in medical anyway, so that's gonna be perfect. We just received a bunch of drop pods for baby food. I don't think we really need any baby food, to be honest. Alright, time to check out this ancient danger. Hopefully we get some more of that sweet, sweet Lucy. And today's enemy is mechanoids. Scyther, Lancer, Scorcher. I mean, that's not too bad. The issue is that Boar has an incinerator, so that's gonna do nothing practically. And problem is with mechanoids is that they don't really walk out of the ancient danger to aggro, so they might be a pain to bait out initially. I mean, the Scyther, yeah, the Scyther is a no-brainer. Scyther is pretty easy. The Lancer is the one that I'm more worried about, in all honesty, because one shot of that weapon can just straight up take out one of our kidneys like nothing. So we're gonna have to be really careful around the Lancer. Okay, Lancer is dead. Take care of the Minotaur. Minotaurs, luckily for us, have usually a really, really bad aim. They're good at swarm attackers, but when there's like only 1 or 2 of them, they can't really do that much. Oh, he managed to get a hit in, and it's just a bruise. So yeah, that's pretty much my point. Oh, it's only the Scorcher. We're gonna have to wait until the Scorcher kind of just approaches this area. Really, Boar. Really, Boar. You think that this is the place that you want to go clean in? Come on. Come on, Boar. Oh man, I swear to God, Rimworld pawns can actually be so stupid sometimes. You decided it would have been a good idea to just clean this area. Oh my God. Bro, for real, name one thing that's dumber than a Rimworld pawn. Like, seriously. Alright, Scorcher's kind of stuck in there. Alright, Scorcher has been taken care of. Time to check out the hermetic crate. Come on, give me some good Lucy. Give me like 8 pieces. For advanced components. Not necessarily what we're looking for, but I'm alright with that. Well, we packed up all that we could carry, so I suppose it's time for us to leave now. Now, I've been considering carefully what to do with Morrison and her clone, since now only one of them can remain. Both of them staying alive means that both of them will be permanently sick. They will reach a stage where they will only have a 10% amount of consciousness at all time. It won't be fail, but they will become pretty much useless in most situations. And normally, I'm sure that most of you will prefer to simply kill the clone and keep the original. But in this case, the clone is essentially undistinguishable from the original. And I was thinking, how would a colony of murderous psychopath cultists that worship Luciferium even handle this situation? So I reached the only natural conclusion that I could, and I simply imprisoned the both of them, both Morrison and her clone. I swapped them around, so now I don't know who's who. And the next thing that's gonna happen, as soon as Morrison, the one on the right, wakes up from the anesthetic, is that we're gonna have both of them fight to the death as gladiators. The one who's standing is gonna be the one who gets to live. The other one, well, the other one, not so much. Now, the thing is, I actually know which one is the original. The Morrison on the left is the original one, while the one on the right is the clone. But I do want to keep this area of mystery, so what I'm gonna do is I will create a sleeping spot right here. I'm gonna make this 4 colonists, both of these cells, and I'm gonna have both of them transferred to the same cell. That way they'll start kind of like shuffling around, and we won't know who's who. Of course, now we know that the original is the one sitting in this bed, and the clone is the one that's sitting here. So what we're gonna do is simply remove this sleeping spot, make this 4 colonists, make a double sleeping spot, very romantic, and turn it for prisoners while we're gonna be looking away from the screen. Now we're gonna go ×3 speed. We're gonna go look back, and yeah, that's kind of it. I officially do not know which one is the clone and which one is the original. So it's time for a gladiator duel. Well, I guess it's time to begin the ritual. Here they come, the 2 Morrisons. Only one of them shall survive and claim the title of true Morrison. Oh, it's time for this to happen. And the fight has begun. Morrison is fighting Morrison. Morrison has managed to deal a blow. The other Morrison also. Morrison is attacking. Morrison seems to be losing, but Morrison is not giving up. Morrison is trying to play a mind trick on her opponent. She is fighting, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no, Morrison has been hit. Is this gonna be it for Morrison? Is Morrison going to win this encounter? Does Morrison have no chances of winning? This might be it, ladies and gentlemen. Morrison might be on her final straw, on her final bit of life. Oh, this is not looking good for Morrison. Morrison, on the other hand, might win, and ladies and gentlemen, Morrison has won the fight. Morrison is our winner, ladies and gentlemen. The gladiator combat has now finished completely. Oh, you know, the trial also went pretty good. Well, we don't know again which is the clone and which the original, but this Morrison here is the one who actually won. So what we are gonna do is that we are going to release the winner, and now Morrison is gonna reclaim her role as the moral guide of the colony. And now the first thing that Morrison is gonna do as the new and reinstaurated moral guide of the group is gonna have to be to execute Morrison. The winner takes it all. And Morrison is now dead. Only Morrison remains. And not just that, since Morrison is a cannibal, she is gonna eat Morrison's body, and that's gonna be it. And she's already doing that. she's eating her own body. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Am I the only one who's really confused about what the just went on here? Okay, the fact that I don't know whether this is the real Morrison or it's the clone, and I don't think there is any way for me to find out. I don't think there is a way for me to find out. There will be a way for me to find out, because the only thing that clones don't copy is their social relationships, right? It's the only thing they don't copy. So I could check the socials right now. And if Morrison is currently neutral towards everyone, then it's the clone. If not, then it's the real Morrison. I'm not going to check. I will forever live in doubt on whether this is the real Morrison or not. And all of you with me at the same time. Well, this seems like a good point where to stop for today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed this whole double trouble clone mishap. This was really fun, I'm not gonna lie. As always, I would like to thank our members: Black Row, Freaky Crafter, Fel the Enjoyer, Juno, Exordius Christensen, and Uzaxin for becoming members and supporting this channel directly. If you'd also like to become a member and support me and my videos, you can do so by clicking on the join button below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and let me know down in the comments what you think of it. And with this being said, I wish you a good night. I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.